How are we doing, guys? It's been such a long time since I've recorded a video for you guys. Actually, one of these videos. I know I've done a couple of community videos and listing videos, but I haven't really sat down and taken the time to have a conversation with you guys about what's been going on with our market since Hurricane Ian. And it's been pretty crazy, right? I mean, it happened, a few months ago. And several of you guys asked me to come in and record a video. And, I've been wanting to do it. I have so much to talk about. I don't even know where to begin. But in a nutshell, what I want to do this video about is really just kind of a quick rundown of what's going on with our market, right? So at the end of the day, not only how did Ian affect our market, but, our current climate, right? Quote unquote experts saying the market's going to crash in 2023. All these things that are really, I hate to say baseless for Southwest Florida for a market here, but I'm not seeing the fundamentals to support that. And that's what I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about today, is what is our Southwest Florida market doing, right? I'm not looking at the country as a whole. Obviously we have to look at the Federal Reserve. What are they doing with our rates, right? Are they going to, where are rates going to end up? Obviously that matters anywhere you live. But we are in a specific micro niche market here in Southwest Florida. And I think you guys already know that. If you've been watching my videos, I've debunked actually. It was the middle of last year when everybody started, talking about the doomsday of real estate, everything was going to crash. The investors were kind of, chomping at the bits to come in and buy everything out. And I did a 40-minute video on the market, why I thought the market was not going to crash, right? And I gave you guys actual data. The data holds up. Actually, everything I said is true. Our prices are actually leveling off or slightly going up. We're going to go through all of that in detail right now. So without further ado, guys, I'm going to put 5 points in here today, but I'm just going to kind of talk a little bit off the cuff as well. Let's talk about item number one. Hurricane Ian, major disaster. What happens after disaster, right? So everything I say here, I want to make sure you guys really understand. I want to be really sensitive about what happened. I live inland. I don't live in the coast. Hurricane Ian was devastating for everybody that lives on the coast. I shouldn't say everybody, right? But obviously for many people living on the coast, people that lived off of the rivers, say Naples Bay, all the way up, Fort Myers, up to, Port Charlotte. Goodness gracious, a lot of people were affected by this. So when I'm talking to you guys, right, we're talking numbers, we're talking business, but we also make sure we understand that we're very sensitive. Right after the hurricane happened, we were without power for a couple of days. No cell phone reception. It was really tough. And then we were in generators. I didn't get to leave this time. I can tell you guys more about my whole hurricane story in a different video maybe, but that's not what this video is about. I wasn't able to leave. We weren't able to leave. So I think maybe 3 or 4 days after the hurricane, we were still kind of, my goodness, Fort Myers Beach was gone, Sanibel was gone. We're seeing, news snippets in the news. And I had investors calling from kind of all over the country, asking, hey, man, are there some crazy deals? Can I steal some properties? And, they're kind of still counting the bodies. And I thought that was so distasteful. And I try to be as professional as I could with those people, but really I kind of told them to pound sand, hey, give us some time. Let's reassess what happened. Let's see what's going on. And then we'll talk business, right? And I think that was the right thing to do. We all got together. Southwest Florida got together. We were going to people's houses. We were helping people that got water inside their homes, kind of tear it down, bring everything down to the studs as high as necessary. So there was no mold issues. Obviously, as you guys know, a lot of people lost their home. The number one item here is what happens to a market after a major disaster. And national data actually shows that those markets usually perform 7% better than the national average. Now, that's a huge number, guys. That's a really good number. That's a huge number. We're already seeing that starting, right? So with the devastation we have in Fort Myers Beach, Sanibel Island, some parts of Naples that got, really damaged, we are seeing that there are no crazy deals, right? If you thought, or if anybody thought they're going to come in and start stealing houses, right? Things are going to be super cheap. That never happened. Properties never sold below lot value, which as you guys know, lot is really what, the land is what's expensive down here because a lot of the structures, if we're talking an older home in the 70s, 80s, 90s that had the lower elevations that, got the water inside of them, those houses are selling for lot values anyway. So if we're talking the moorings, that's a $2.8 million house with or without hurricane damage because it's considered a tear down, a knockdown home anyways. Everything's selling a lot value, right? People were hoping that those super nice waterfront lots were going to go for bargain. I was able to work with investors and help them in Cape Coral to structure deals, some in Fort Myers as well. I did a Sanibel deal. Was actually to able to structure a deal where it made sense for the homeowner, right? And it made sense also for the investor because investors have to make money, right? But we wanted to make sure it was something that was fair for everybody. We worked very hard at that. And all of us real estate agents are working really hard at keeping things fair. We're expecting 7% or so higher actual equity versus the remainder of the United States market. So that's actually the one piece of good news you can get out of a major storm disaster. All right, so number two, I'm not going to make this a super boring video, guys. I'm going to bring in some information here, some data for you guys on the screen. Like I said, I'm not doing another 40-minute, let's look at the numbers, let's look at data. We're just going to look at some of the main numbers here that I like to pull up and show you guys. December numbers were fairly similar to this. I was going to do this video in the month of January. I was going to show December numbers, but we're in February, not February 8th. So we're going to be showing you January numbers. Which I like about that is that we're in season right now. So this January number is pretty good to look at. Our prices did not go down after the hurricane. Prove it, Felipe. Let's prove it. So let's look at the screen right here. Collier County, January 2023. Number of sales, minus 37%. So we had 927 sales in January of 2022, 531. So we had less sales, right? No problem. Now let's talk about number of listings. We had actually more listings this year than last year. We knew that the number of listings were going to go up. That's no surprise. That's a good thing, right? As you guys know, we're still in very low inventory here. We're going to talk more about that coming up in these numbers. Average days on market is a huge thing. Now you guys are going to see here, look, 86.21% higher. So the homes are sitting much, much longer in the market right now. What that's telling us is that our market is obviously, as we know, is not as hot as it was in 2022. COVID mania is still going up. So we have homes sitting on the market a heck of a lot longer than they were during COVID. Median sales price, this is where it gets interesting, 11.5% up. So the sales price are going up. So our prices are going up almost 11% year over year. Okay, that's huge. Average sales price, 27.78% of all property types. So this is average, this is median. I always like to look at median. Okay, I don't like to look at average prices. Let's talk about median sold prices. There we go. So median list price right here, guys, 15% sold listing. So that means that the sold listing prices went up. And then average list price, the list prices were up by 30.58%, which is crazy. I don't like to see that, to be honest. I can send you, by the way, guys, this report. Just give me your email or call me, text me, whatever. Give me your email. I can send you this data so you can guys dive in. I'm not going to do another crazy video. We talk about this for 40 minutes, okay? This is just a quick rundown of some interesting numbers that I want to show you guys. Average price compared. Okay, this is really good. Average list price in blue compared to the average sold prices in gray. You see how we're talking very close here, and we're going to see in a different report, we're a little under 5%. So whatever the list prices or the homes are, the averages we're selling about 4% below. That's very important because I have a lot of you guys, a lot of you Canadians, a lot of you New Yorkers coming in saying, I don't pay full price for anything. Well, that's good news, but you're not going to get the 20% discount that you want. You're not going to get the 30% discount. I've worked with clients who put offers at 30% below asking price. Guys, that's not going to happen. I do understand some listings are grossly overpriced, but that's not every listing. So you guys need to listen to your real estate agent, whether it's myself or whoever you're dealing with. Once you do a market analysis, there are properties being grossly overpriced. That's happening. There's no way around that, but that is not every home. So if you think you're going to come here, get a price, a home that's already well priced, and you're going to knock it down by another, if it's a $3.5 million house, you're not going to get it for $2.5 million. That's not going to happen. This happened to me. I had somebody try to put a $2.5 million offer on a $3.5 million house. That was worth about maybe 3.2, 3.3. realistically, that's a no, right? That's just a reject. You're not going to get that. Now here, this is showing us unsold price. Look at the unsold price way up here, sold price and asking price, right? So we're right in line, right within a few percentage points. They're selling right there. If you don't like the prices you see, we do an analysis. It's a good price. It's a well-priced home. Just don't waste your time. Don't put that offer in. You're not going to get it. Me being realistic, that's what I have this video for, guys. I'm being upfront with you guys. That's the facts. I'm not giving you my opinion. I'm giving you facts, right? The properties sitting in the market are going up here. The properties are well priced. They're selling pretty quickly. We already knew that. Okay, cool. That's the end of this report, right? So let me pull up another report that's very interesting. We're going to talk for a quick minute about. We're not going to take too long on this, okay? So this is directly from my MLS. I broke this up. Somebody asked me to break it up between, Collier County, and then I just did Naples, which is obviously going to be pretty much the same thing. But Collier County involves Marco, Immokalee, Ave Maria, all that. And I added Marco Island in there as well. So Marco Island is in red, Naples is in orange, and Collier County is in blue. Average prices. See, when I did my video, it was right around here when the prices were going down, and this is when people were saying, "Hey, these prices are just going to boom crash." And wrong they were. I said, guys, these prices are going to actually continue just wavering around and just moving on, and that's exactly what's happening. We still have a pretty strong job market in Southwest Florida. We still have retirees are still coming from all over the country and the world to retire here. We no longer have COVID restrictions, so the Canadians are coming back, the Germans are coming back, the Europeans are coming back, the South Americans are coming back. Not a lot of South Americans come here. They go to the East Coast mostly. But at any rate, we're back open. We're flying. The hurricane put a little stress on the market. So a lot of the people that lost their properties are now moving inland, right? Because they want to stay close to the properties. If they didn't sell and get out, they want to be around to see their homes being repaired. So they're renting or buying. So that's also putting a stress on our market with inventory. Crash is not going to happen. I'm always reading reports every morning from the Board of Realtors, the National NAR, right? National Association of Realtors. And they're saying there's, I think, 5 markets in the country that were super hot, that they're seeing a 30% adjustment this year. Florida, I find it hard to believe. I know Southwest Florida, that's not going to happen. If you think there's going to be a 30% depreciation, look elsewhere. This is not the place for you. Just being upfront. If you can show me data to support that, this market is going to crash by 30%. I'd love to see that. This is new listings, right? So new listings were going down, and then January go up. We looked at this. January is a month where the highest amount of listings come to the market. So this spiked up again. Homes for sale. Here, I'm going to get my noggin out of the way. So with COVID right here, 2020 right here, boom, they dropped all the way. They're slowly starting to come up. Like we talked about, some of the houses are starting to sit a little bit longer, especially the overpriced homes. They're just sitting, and that's a good thing. Because I don't like to see people just way overpay for something that's not worth it, right? Pending sales starting to come up a little bit, but we're still low. Not a lot of pending sales. Total sales went down. I'm just going to go briefly here, guys. I can go individually with you if you want to do a Zoom call with you. Personally, I will do that. Okay. Days in the market, as we see, the homes are coming down. Days in the market are coming up for Lee and Collier, for Marco Island. So Marco Island is a hot market, as you guys can see here. Went down quite a bit, which means homes are coming to the market and they're selling right away. Percentage of list price, Collier County, 96.6%. So under, 3.4%. So if a property is listed for $1 million, it's selling for 3.4% below that. So $34,000 below $1 million. So that shows, guys, that's a strong market. I don't care what you say. Yes, the homes are sitting a little bit longer in the market. We don't have the crazy COVID mania anymore, but the prices are holding strong. So if you're a seller, I'm talking to all my sellers, several sellers we spoke in the summer when things were looking a little dim, right here, when the prices, right here, when we're talking right there, boom, right when the uncertainty right there, July 2022, I had people calling me, hey, do I sell my house? What do I do? I told several people, don't sell right now. Let's wait. I think my partner and I have, 10 homes in the market right now. I have more listings coming up because that's what I'm advising people. Now is the time to list. Now is the time to sell if you need to get top dollar for your property. We're not going to keep beating that horse here. I think you guys get the point. If you need more data, more information to support what I'm telling you, that we have a strong market in dollars, Houses are sitting in the market longer. That's normal. There's nothing wrong with that, right? People are being more selective. Buyers are being more selective. Some buyers are being too selective and they're not going to, they're just never going to own down here. That's the bottom line. If you want to come to Southwest Florida, you have to understand we still have a strong market. Whatever the media is telling you is irrelevant to our market. I just showed you our numbers. I didn't tell you my opinion. Those are the numbers. Guys, if you're enjoying this video, please do not forget to like and subscribe. That's very, very, very important for here. I'm going to actually bring my screen up. I'm going to make this bigger so you can see my noggin a little better. Do not forget to like and subscribe. I do these videos for you guys. It's my job to make sure I keep you guys up to date. So if there's specific content you guys want to know about, specific communities you guys want to get into, and have me show you around, specific homes, whatever, call me, text me. I love when you guys do that, okay? I'm here to be a resource for you. So number three, I want to talk to you guys about what's going on with investors buying hurricane damaged properties, right? I'm going to be brief on this topic because I know that's not most of you guys, but there's a lot of you guys out there looking for that. The quick rule of thumb is the FEMA 50% rule states that any property that is going to have any kind of improvements or repairs done, and if those improvements or repairs are going to be over 50% of the value of the building structure, not the lot. So if you have a $180,000 structure, valued structure at a $1 million lot, it's not a $1.1 million property. It's a $180,000 building structure. You get 50% of that. So that's going to be $90,000. If you need more than $90,000 to fix the property up, it's going to have to be knocked down, brought up to the latest elevation code, and then rebuilt. Okay, so a lot of the homes that were damaged applies for everything. That's in general. A lot of those homes are going to have to be knocked down. Okay, now if you are an investor, you have your crew, your construction. If you feel like you can buy a property, which many investors have, you can keep your costs low enough where they're justifiable. Every county is different. Like in Bonita Springs, you can bring your contractor's bid, and they'll use that as dollar amount. But Cape Coral, they have a specific sheet, like a chart they go off of, hey, this needs drywall, this needs roof, etc. And if it surpasses that 50%, they're going to condemn the property. You can also get your own private appraisal. We have been finding that a private appraisal is coming about 20% higher than the county's numbers. There's ways to look for those county numbers. I know how to do it. I can show you guys how to do all that. I'm not going to do it right now. I'm not going to take time to do it, but you can call me. I can walk you through that. If you feel like you can repair a property, great. Take it, buy it, take it off somebody's hands that wants to sell it. Maybe they didn't have flood insurance. Maybe they did have insurance. They're just going to take the insurance money. They're going to sell the property. They'll do something else with it. There are opportunities, not great opportunities, because there's very little meat in the bones for you investors. Some of the properties, I still get them off market. I have one coming up in Bonita. It's off market right now. That's easily $1 million property. We're going to list it right around 800,000, maybe a little less for lot value. Call me. We can talk more about that. A lot of them listed right now in the market are, in my opinion, a little bit overpriced, because I understand as an investor, you have to be able to make your money work for you. You do need to turn a profit. You don't want to take advantage of anybody, of course, like I said, but the deal has to be fair. And a fair deal will allow the investor to make some money. You want to talk more about that? Let's do it. Just give me a shout. Number four, how has life been since the hurricane, right? And the reality is it's almost, it almost guilts me to say it, but a month after the hurricane, for most people down here, everything came back to normal. Most people are fine. Again, I am being very sensitive. Many people lost a lot. And, everybody has their own journey. There's a lot of people helping those people. A lot of good Samaritans. People from all over the country came to help people, kind of gut their homes if it was necessary. It was a heartbreaking period for those people. But, if you're looking percentage wise, the majority of people really were okay. If you have visited Naples or Southwest Florida since the hurricane, you'll know that what I'm saying is true. Most of the beaches are open, not all of them. Like Wiggins Pass is my favorite beach. That's going to be closed, they're saying, for 1 or 2 years, because they got to redo, bathrooms. There's a lot of structural repairs they have to make. But there are other beaches that are partially open. You can still go to the beach if you'd like. You can ride your bike. Our weather's still stunning, right? Nothing has changed as far as that's concerned. So I'm thinking by next season, this season was a little bit different. As far as Airbnb, I'm working on an Airbnb video as I'm recording this one. because we have a lot of Airbnb investors, short-term investors are wondering about our market, and I'm going to do an in-depth video on that. I actually just listed a property that's perfect for that within the city limits of Naples, like under 2 miles from the beach, $750,000, incredible property. And there are still opportunities for that. But this year has been a little light, so the people that own Airbnb and short-term investment properties, they're feeling a little bit because a lot of people don't want to come. The hurricane just happened. Although most, I think, I would venture to say all restaurants are reopened. My wife and I, some friends went to Nosh in Naples, which is at Naples Bay. What an incredible restaurant, by the way. They're not paying me to say this, but that was probably one of the best places we ate in a long time. We've been like a lot of places in Naples, like date nights or with friends celebrating things. And Nosh was incredible. So a little hats off to them there. Just great service, great food. I mean, just amazing food. So I wanted to throw a little thing in there for them because they deserve it. And they just reopened recently, right? Because they got water from the hurricane. So they're repaired, they're ready to go, and they're firing on all cylinders. So that's beautiful to see. Restaurants doing well, businesses thriving, but it's going to be a few years. Like I have investors in general, some of them have 5-year contracts and they may extend longer, right? I mean, Fort Myers Beach and Sanibel, I know it's going to be a long haul. Construction businesses coming down here, long-term contracts, right? So there's so much, the future looks so bright. So the people that have the insight to come down and invest, there are people investing now, and even like the prices are a little crazy, like we're talking about, they are still buying. So if you think people are not buying, you are wrong. People are buying and they're going to be holding because they know that we're going to have new infrastructure in a lot of portions, waterfront, and that's extremely valuable, extremely valuable. I'm sorry, I know you guys can hear my kids playing and yelling in the back. So here's my fifth point, and it's my hot take. The future does look bright. I mean, I was very worried after the hurricane. I think everybody was, right? Not only in the real estate world, but in general, like what's going to happen to our market, right? I mean, homeowners are like, oh my gosh, is this hurricane going to cause a mass exodus? And is everybody going to put their house in the market? And we're going to get flooded with properties for sale. And all of a sudden, our values are just going to dip right to the dumpster. And I am still a little bit surprised as to how few people have actually exited the area, right? Some people after the hurricane left some nasty comments on some of my YouTube videos. People are crazy if they live down there, and obviously these are baseless comments. But I'm just bringing it up to bring up a point. We're like, hey, how much is this going to affect our market? And to see that actually hasn't affected, but has strengthened our market. I mean, we have so much beauty. It's just so nice down here. I mean, the weather's incredible. I recorded a video very recently. I just put it up. You guys can see on Worthington Country Club in Bonita Springs. So a new listing we put in there, and I talked about the community. And I mean, the day was just gorgeous. The weather was in the 70s. There was a small breeze. I went outside in the restaurant to see the views. And I just wanted to sit down and relax all day, and that's a reality. It's just so, so nice to be down here. And if people have the opportunity, the financial means to be down here, if you have the financial means to be down here, I mean, I have to say, this is where you want to be, right? You don't want to be in New York. You don't want to be Massachusetts, Chicago. Californians are different. There's Californians still coming here, which is fine. I think that's more politics based, not weather based. If you're Canadian, I mean, there's just so many people. Minnesota, gosh, Chicago. We love seeing you guys come down. What's going on, behind the trenches in our market? Because I know a lot of you guys are coming unprepared. You're coming down here to visit and you're thinking that you're just going to start stealing homes. And I'm being upfront with you guys. Like I show you the numbers, it's not going to happen. There are good values, right? There are reasonable sellers. I am working with some of them that are very reasonable. They understand the market. They understand, a little bit of negotiating. They're pricing their homes right to begin with. And some not so much, right? Might be whether they're mine or other people's clients. And with my clients, I always have very reasonable, very realistic conversations and expectations. I set the expectations and I explain to them, you're listing a property really high. Well, guess what? It's just going to sit in the market because the buyers, even though they don't have a lot of choices, we still have very low inventory. They do have the choice not to buy, right? Another key point that I think is positive is they did mention that the interest rates are probably going to end up hovering. They're going to go up a little more, but they're going to end up hovering at around 5.7%. And I think that having the, how do I say this? Just having the knowledge that we're going to be coming to normalization, I think that's good. Because right now, the uncertainty is the problem, right? If you don't know if you're going to end up closing at 7% or 6% or 5.5%, that's tough. Now, if you know we're going to be hovering right around 5.7% a little bit down the road, at least you can properly plan budget for what you're going to be buying if you're going to be financing. So that's my hot take, guys. I appreciate you sticking with me in the video. I know this format is a little bit different here. I love hearing from you guys. I mean, I just can't say enough about the type of clients that I've gotten through my YouTube channel, which is fantastic. I mean, I just love that, knowing that the little community we're building here is actually filled with great people from all over the world. And that's just really cool. See you guys in the next video. Hope you enjoyed this one. Again, like, subscribe if you liked it. And if you don't like it, just don't do anything about it. Just go watch something else. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later.